Motorola started off last year with a couple of awesome smartphones, and they continued with two more powerhouses, the DROID Turbo and the Nexus 6. While one is a Verizon exclusive, you can use both of them on the Big Red. However, which is the best one that you can get on that network? These two phones are some of the best Verizon has to offer, but which is worth buying? I'm Ben with iTechTriad, and let's find out in our comparison of the DROID Turbo and the Nexus 6. Before we get started, I just want to note that we don't always do comparisons like this. Now, if you've been here subscribed for a while, you'll know that we usually do two videos comparing why each phone is better than the other. So why aren't we doing that here? Simply put, these two phones are so insanely similar in many ways, the reasons why each is better than the other would be pretty absurd. That said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, one of the biggest differences between these two devices is the size. The Turbo rocks a 5.2-inch display, while the Nexus 6 has a massive 5.96-inch display. Both displays are similar in several ways. Both are AMOLED, both have Quad HD resolutions, and both perform nearly identically in terms of brightness. So really the choice here comes down to what size you prefer. Now, one area where the Nexus 6 takes a leap forward is in the design. Now, while the Turbo is not a bad looking device, it's certainly not quite as attractive as the Nexus 6, except maybe for the more conservative branding and that really awesome blue ballistic nylon variant. Now, an area where the Turbo takes the lead is in the software features. Now, just like the Moto X, the Moto Suite is pre-installed on this device, and it brings all the same useful and powerful apps. While the Nexus 6 does have the same always listening capability, it doesn't even scratch the surface on Motorola's option. The Turbo further excels in another extremely important area, battery life. The Turbo has a much larger battery than the Nexus 6, and that means far better battery life. While I expected a lot more out of it, the Turbo definitely gives the Nexus 6's battery life a beatdown. Now, the Nexus 6 does rise back up with dual front-facing stereo speakers, something the Turbo cannot even get close to matching. So which is the better smartphone? Well, it's a tough choice. The Nexus 6 has advantages in several areas, while the Turbo has several of its own. In the end, the choice you make will likely come down to the size, the battery life, or the updates. Which of those you prefer or value more is going to make the choice for you. Now, that's going to go ahead and wrap up our comparison of the DROID Turbo and the Nexus 6. If you want to learn more about either phone, our reviews are linked down in the description. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like as it helps us out a lot, and leave a comment and tell us which of these two phones you prefer or own. If you want to see more tech videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and if you enjoy our content and you want to help us make more of it, be sure to check out our Patreon campaign, which is also linked below. If you want to stay tuned to the latest we have to offer in the way of content, as well as the latest in tech news, be sure to follow us on Google+, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. All of those are also linked down below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.